pillar.
It's just like artillery striking, essentially, over and over again. That's the thing. And I don't know, as a player, that's just like very scary to play against. But that said, we're seeing kind of, I guess, a more standard loadout here, running 2 Novas, Meteor, and a Comet. Again, seeing similar loadouts to what we saw last round. And it seems to be a bit of kind of a jack-of-all-trades build, so we're not seeing any heavy specifications so far.
VRespawn just going to charge straight into Kangorillaz. I'm assuming they're trying to actually bait out some tacticals here and actually get an advantage when we do get to the main fight, when that point will unlock. Remember, it's Dyson, it's going to be control now, so you need the, or King of the Hill, technically. You need that 100% to close things out. And then Kazna's trying to hold spawn here. Let's hit Mad. Actually takes him, again, very low on HP. Mad has to respect this one. Maybe even use some healing to get him back up and running. And it looks like the initial control should be going the way here of VRespawn. I like his position out of Kazan. It gives him a lot of damage.
Yeah, very aggressive. He's very far from his team. If we had a response from Kangorillaz there, he could have been punished on it. He is going to get taken out, but the other 2 members ended up in a 3v2. And, I mean, VRespawn just take the fight, and they just end up taking out the 2 remaining members of Kangorillaz, and they aren't really able to do anything with it. So VRespawn getting the first hold on this point.
So do you think we'll see some phase shifts in here? I know we were talking a ton about it
possibly.
2 weeks ago.
I think, I mean, looking at it right now, we are seeing a phase shift actually out of Kaznaz, funny enough.
I was wondering why he died.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those that if you're not expecting to die, you can get picked off. So I think it was a detonator that might have got him towards the end of that, meaning that he wouldn't have maybe expected that additional burst of damage. However, we are seeing a phase shift, which is nice to see. Apart from that, we're seeing a threat scanner coming out of both teams, which I actually have to say I haven't seen. Oh, we're now seeing that switch over to a phase. So both teams running 1 member with phase. Really interesting to see.
We should explain it really quickly, actually, for all the people out there who might understand the phase shift and why it's so important to have on your Comet player.
Yeah, so phase shift essentially makes you invulnerable for a certain period of time, but you can't do any damage. So generally what happens is you put it on a Comet player or you put it on the person playing at range, and then that basically prevents them from being able to get pushed, essentially. So if you've got 2 players with a shotgun trying to get on your sniper, the sniper basically goes invulnerable, runs back to his team, and resets up, basically negating that pressure that they put down. However, a lot of players don't like it because of the amount of time it takes to get your gun back in the action. So if the other team is smart and abuses the fact that you're no longer able to do anything, they can basically take a 4 versus 3 in that period of time. But yeah, so we're just seeing kind of activation coming out here right now from Strem, basically just buying time on the point. But that's actually something he did really well there, which is actually just take the attention away from his teammate, and his teammate's just able to get round, do some damage.
Yeah, damage, but how much damage is actually going to stick now is he's basically by himself from the point with another teammate off to the side. Mad's going to be eliminated. I'm assuming Sherbitsky had fallen or will fall in just a few seconds. I think VRespawn going to get very close, actually finishes off in 1 clear take. We see the refight comes back into Kangorillaz, having obviously the quicker respawn timers, so it gives them a man advantage technically if they can just get the kills they do need. With Vidman and Kaz as being the last 2 live on the point, they're actually going to take this one. Holy wow, Kangorillaz wasn't even able to get there in time to contest, and VRespawn off to such a ridiculously strong start.
Yeah, VRespawn basically able to force Kangorillaz in a position where they had to send their one available man that was alive at the time onto the point over and over again. And that basically, although Kangorillaz were able to delay successfully, they never had enough firepower to actually turn the tables and take the point back. Meaning that VRespawn just bled it out, essentially.
So I'm gonna give you my take on phase shift real quick. It's only as good as how accurate your Comet player is. Because if your Comet player is like probably mean, is terrible.
It's the danger value, right? It's like preservation.
If you leave him alone.
Yeah.
So you could go 4 on 3
absolutely.
fight.
Yeah.
But if he's a terrible sniper, then great, you have a 4 on 3, you're gonna win. If he's a good sniper, then you're 4v3, but you're taking a hell of a lot of damage from somewhere else that you can't mitigate.
You're forced to deal with him. And
exactly.
You have to be good enough to force them to come and deal with you to make use of it.
Exactly.
But that said, I think we're seeing more or less the same builds from both teams. 4 heals now. Okay, Kangorillaz switching this up. They're running 4 Novas, 4 detonators, and 4 heals. So this is kind of
all about that burst.
This is that heavy specification I was talking about. Looks like they've realized that we're going to lose this. We're going to go 2-0 this early on, and we need to do something. So trying to switch up to 4 Novas, which is really interesting. They did all use the detonators, but weren't able to get any kills off the back of it, though, which is not the ideal situation you want to be in.
And remember, Jersey, whoever wins this whole match is through. They're into the finals.
Is this?
Yeah, this is the winner bracket final. The upper bracket final. You win this, you're in. You're into the grand finals, and you're in top 2 seed of the entire tournament. Don't worry, I'm positive on it.
Okay, all right.
Only 2 teams from NA, 2 teams from EU. Lose this one goes down to the loser final. And we're covering the other match, the Ignite versus Alpha D-Res.
This is not the best of 5.
This is the best of 5.
Yeah, okay, all right. Yes. Yeah, okay.
Don't worry, you can trust
Yeah,
me.
sorry.
Trust
Yeah,
me.
it's fine.
So yeah, if VRespawn take an early 2-0 and they actually take this round as well, like, they're going to be one map away from closing out the entire series and getting themselves through to Leicester.
Yes, yeah, exactly, yeah. So, looks like Kangorillaz are going to take the point now. So this is the first time they've had possession, but they are spread out. And this is just, VRespawn is all over the place. They're going to lose a member. 2 members now straight away. VRespawn taking the point back. And this is looking, again, more or less along the same lines.
This makes Kangorillaz so strong because, yes, you have 4 Nova players, and you have to obviously send one to deal with them. But you put them at range,
yeah, and
someone's going to have to chase him, and if they don't, then you have the long-range advantage over them against the Novas. So this is really tough to hold.
Kangorillaz have to answer that is the problem. So you're basically putting the onus back on Kangorillaz to do something about it. And if Kangorillaz don't, which is possible, because as we've said, this is kind of a high-pressure situation. It's the finals, this is what gets you to the qualifier. This kind of stressful situation can be really difficult, but they're going all in, and they've taken 2 members out. This is going to end up being a 3 versus a 3 or 4v1, and they do end up completely wiping.
So the advantage, though, is that if they all jump on the point with Novas, detonators, and healing, they're going to win the point.
Well, I think Kangorillaz was on the point as well, which is something that he shouldn't be in this position, right? If they're running 4 Novas, he should be putting himself at range, but he hasn't been doing that. They've been trying to get back on the point. Kangorillaz might be able to bring this back to kind of, I'd say, a more of an even state.
See, I don't think so, because the fact is, yes, you can take the point aggressively because you have the Novas and you have the speed, but you can't defend because they can attack you from range. They can force you back into these tunnels and get some picks on you and then turn the point back around.
But what they've been doing great here is they've just given the point away and then they're going back and out fighting again afterwards to try and give the possession over so they get the high respawn timers on the kills. This is a great play from Kangorillaz. They're doing a fantastic job. They only give up 6%, and now they are, although they're having to chase this last guy down, they're going to lose a member, but I think the staggered kill there will be enough to slow VRespawn's potential recapture on this.
Well, again, it comes down if they can hit some shots here. We're going to see Mad has fallen. Strambitsky's being very low on HP, trying to spam as much as he can, but he's going to be eliminated as well. And again, the defense just proven to be very, very difficult against VRespawn as they came in with the man advantage and came in with the distance advantage. Kangorillaz, where is he currently playing in front? Number 28 is actually going to be pushed up down towards their spawns.
Yes,
trying to get some early damage.
Yeah, this is what he should be doing, and this is what whoever wins this fight, I think, takes this game.
Then he just phase shifts, and he's out. So they actually have the pressure onto him. The thing is, they left him alone again. He can still sit back there. No one's even giving him attention yet again. And finally, he's actually going to get swarmed around by a couple of other players as he comes back to defend the point and pull some players away. But 88% to 68. VRespawn still in control of the point, still in control of the damage so far. They've not lost out on really anyone except Vex, who's just gone down. I think that's going to do it. I think they're going to hit 100% here. They're going to send everyone they can onto the point. And look at the damage they're doing. Vidmig gets just dropped. Cod's Worthless gets dropped. And they've been able to take the point back.
Oh, Kangorillaz being able to do a last-minute hold here. This is looking good. So they've got now a staggered member. They need to take this guy out now before the rest of his team arrives. Looks like they're just going to try and hold on to the point. Maybe they're going to give possession up and try and do one final rotation.
How low they are, though.
That seems to be their only... Oh, insta-heal grenade. Big one coming out there from Kangorillaz. So this is going to be all come down to this fight. Whoever wins this right now... And Kangorillaz losing a member. Strambitsky going out very early on. Kangorillaz taking some hits. This doesn't look good for Kangorillaz. Healings are now coming in. They take out a member from VRespawn. Sealable now goes down. This is looking good for VRespawn, and this will be them taking it.
All right, so 2-0 are going to go on the boards now for the VRespawn boys as they get one step closer to the event in Leicester, in the UK, in the Haymarket Theatre. I was just there this last week. Great venue. It's going to be an awesome event. You guys should tune in. If you're in the area, obviously you should attend.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be great. And
eat Jersey.
Yeah.
Shake his hand.
I'm going to be there.
Should we shake your hand?
Maybe.
We've never shaken hands, so I don't know. Maybe you're a germaphobe.
I think that might be a step too far, just at this point in our relationship. So.
Well, you know what also is a step too far? This match at the moment for Kangorillaz is 2-0. One more from being knocked down, and you said you get a freebie with your first loss.
Yeah.
Technically.
I mean, the problem right now is that they brought it back after switching over to that high-spec comp, I want to call it, where they ran 4 insta-heal grenades, 4 healing, 4 novas, and it worked out, but not enough. So I think we're currently
just
now...
highlights.
Yeah, just some highlights coming from those games. So...
Got caught off there like,
yeah, I was like, wait, are we going for the payload? What? No, so we're just seeing some of the highlights. Yeah, I mean, looking at that first map, VRespawn were just completely dominating in their hold, in their defensive hold, and their attack. Just really didn't let up at all. And again, I liked the change of composition from Kangorillaz. I felt it was a little bit too little too late, though. I feel like they should have done that in the first point. As soon as they started getting that rotation when they were this long, drawn-out fight, on that first point on the capture map on the Dyson, they should have switched earlier. I think they'd left it too late because you saw how well they did in that last game. I think they had an opportunity to bring it back.
I do respect Kangorillaz though for switching up to something like that, switch up to the Novas, the detonators, just trying to make something happen, realizing, okay, what we're doing right now is not working.
Yep.
But I like the little adaptation that came out of VRespawn because they would like feint and attack in, force Kangorillaz to come out to them to fight, and then they would just back off.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
they kept their distance, they made the Novas ineffective, and then easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we were saying, as soon as we saw the Novas come out, we were like, okay, right now, so what VRespawn needs to do, they need to take their long-range people, stick them out long range, take them away from the point, and basically fight in the open where Kangorillaz are worse at.
You could just have one player sit on the point,
exactly.
try to capture, the rest sit back, and then bait them out, and then the player just runs away.
Exactly. It's basically playing open, right? You play open with long range, and after one wipe, they switched to doing that immediately. So as soon as that came through, it took one reset where they were on the point, they were caught off guard. As soon as they realized, okay, that's what they're doing, they switched over. They put, I think it was Vex going out onto the onto open and basically just doing what he was doing with the phase shift and the comet. I think that was a huge part of it, and yeah, they just adapted to it perfectly.
Well, we're going to be heading to our third map here in a moment's time as teams have readied up. I feel like, though, when we get to the point here, that Nova strat won't work as well. Yeah, there's a lot more terrain you can hide behind.
Yeah.
There's a lot more angles a sniper can take against you to punish you for that.
This will be really interesting because I think both teams here I've seen have some pretty good strategies on this map. I feel a lot of it, what it comes down to, is kind of honeypotting, right? The point or different areas of the map. So basically setting up a trap, essentially, to some extent, where you hide out of view, wait for them to move in, and then get the advantage by coming in from an angle they don't expect.
Well, we're not going to be seeing the Novas this time, but we're going to see double comets, if I'm not mistaken. Silver Bag and Leverage both could be taking it, so playing it from a different position. We do not have the phase, or we do have phase shift. It's on Vidman this time, and he's playing. So we have double comets versus double comets. Okay.
Interesting. So yeah, we're seeing. Oh no, so we're seeing Comet Meteor actually versus Comet Meteor as well. So it's a Meteor, the second one. So interesting that we're seeing double Novas again though from both teams. This seems to be kind of the general setup that they've both chosen and opted for this. That said, so far, when it's come down to this kind of general setup, VRespawn have won every single fight. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Kangorillaz is going to be able to change this now suddenly. They do get an early pick, but they do get response. Another kill comes down on them. Second kill coming down on VRespawn though. Vex goes down now. This is actually looking good for Kangorillaz.
Alright, so able to turn the point around, force the long respawns. Luckily, Vidman was able to escape those, so he's not going to have to wait. But again, I'd like to see him take a couple of shots here, as long as he can keep that distance. Phase shift's about to come online. They're not giving him any angles. I'd say even keep transitioning north. Actually circle around behind them, because once you start hitting shots from the backside, then you have the phase shift to get away. You're going to draw them away from the point, ideally.
I think the problem they have with that is that if their player gets noticed, that said, doesn't matter. They're just going in front on, and this is looking like a good wipe here coming out of VRespawn. Kangorillaz is going very low, and that will be, I believe, a full team wipe. Now, oh no, Vex basically chasing down the last man, which actually he's gonna end up getting healed off. He could do some damage here. He's got a Meteor, but how long he survived here? Yeah, that's
bad for him.
Exactly. Yeah, he leveraged there, trying to hold on, but it didn't really work out. Unless you're in a really safe spot, that's not a really good thing. They're just going straight onto the point. This is super aggressive play. They are going to take out Vidman. Strembitsky also going down, but this is a 4v3. Another kill going on to VRespawn. Another one. This is looking great for Kangorillaz, and that will be another wipe. And
I'm going to jump in there. It wasn't a 4v3 yet, because there was still a respawn coming through, so it actually was a 3v3 on point.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Oh, okay. So
equal fight, and then the fourth player came in a little bit later on. So that's actually a really good timing, I want to say, out of Kangorillaz to actually force that fight then.
So VRespawn had one man out of position, essentially, so they got caught out on that one. So it was ended up being a 3v3, but yeah, convincing take there. This is actually... Kangorillaz doing a great job this game, playing the same game they tried to play on the payload map, which is really interesting. They haven't switched their composition a great deal. Seems to be more or less the same loadouts, but they're just doing a much better job with it.
I feel like VRespawn, though, are kind of throwing this at the moment. They're allowing Kangorillaz to sit behind these pillars and sit out of line of sight range from being shot up. I still say you need to flank a man behind them, come in from a different angle, so you actually get a lot of damage done. The point will turn. Damage still being done as I speak about out of Vidman here. He's going to need some backup, and a couple of kills coming through, a bit of damage coming through as Sealbag will fall. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade so far. The respawn's going to come back in out of Vex, who's trying to get there as quick as he possibly can. You can see them just trying to hold on for dear life here onto the pillar. Now, will eventually go the way here of VRespawn.
Although he did get killed out of time there, he did delay a lot of points going through to VRespawn there, so they are still only on 50%, even though they've held the point for quite some time now. So This is gonna be another 3v3, now a 3v4 situation coming in. They're just gonna wait for their last man, I believe. So Vidman very low though. He just needs another tickle and he'll be dead. Kaznaz also going like, yeah, little tickle.
Tickle,
yeah, he was on 10 health, so I think he was anything like even looked at him, he would have been gone down. But Strembitsky going down straight away in this fight, not what you want in this position. This again, the clock is ramping up here. This could be one of the last fights we've got.
Vidman actually wins the snipe battle against him, more importantly. The guy who was dropped extremely low, who could have been tickled to death. I'm sorry, I'm still just confused by that one. But it looks like they're going to take it here, taking that first round onto Combustion. But again, I want to see this, and we didn't have the opportunity, but with the way Kangorillaz were defending it was just sit behind the pillar. I really want to see a player flank around behind them with phase shift, and then just like, all right, if they engage on you, you just phase shift out, back to the point. Well, if they don't, you just get tons of free damage. And we saw Vidman be able to win out in the 1v1 against Strembitsky when it came down to sniping.
Yeah, so we're seeing both teams running Threat Scanner as well, which is kind of a counter tactic to that, because that's the thing that prevents you from basically wanting to flank. Because if the enemy team realizes you're going that full rotation and you have no way of joining up with your team apart from going through the other team, you're then in a position that if they know you're there, they can just turn and 4v1 you straight away.
Strembitsky went in real deep here, but he catches Vex from behind. Nice little double shot. Leverage chimes in as well. Gives him immediately the man advantage. Taking their time here, though, for the retake, trying to plan this one out, making sure they get as much as they can possibly done. Strembitsky, though, gets dropped low. Does get healed up. But it's going to be eventually a relatively clean take here for Kangorillaz, as they're going to start off strong here in this round.
Now, I don't know if that was intentional, that they took the first kill and then delayed the rest of the fight, because they were in a 4v3 situation at that point, but the situation that unfolded there is actually going to delay the respawn of VRespawn significantly. So they're now going to be coming out as the point is coming up. Looks like tacticals are more or less even on both sides. Both teams having popped Threat Scanner. Strem going down very early in that fight, though. Loveridge also going low. VRespawn taking little to no damage at this point, though, so this is looking good for them. And it does look like this will be a full comfortable take from VRespawn.
Well, they're going to need to see that Threat Scanner used when they go on the approach as well, just to make sure, like you said before, not getting flanked. But ideally, give Vidman a chance to hit a couple of shots here with the Comet. It's not a name we've said a ton. Usually it's been Kaznaz the one using that, but Vidman stepping up here in this map has been able to at least win out against Strembitsky, which did eventually net them that last round. 30% and counting now.
One thing I have seen actually out of Kangorillaz that I really do like is their boosting has been pretty good. Like across both of these games, their two-man stacks and actually getting on top of people has actually been great. But again, these headshots coming out from VRespawn has just done so much work. That said, Kangorillaz are being able to take kills left, right, and center, and this is looking like another possible kill coming onto the point right now. One member's going low from VRespawn, but no one going down. This Kangorillaz getting killed or losing a member, and they're just going to give over the point.
They're going to re-engage, though, to actually
force
for the long respawn? Okay, no, they're actually going to get punished instead. I thought they were going to try to like go back in 2v2, but they've lost out a couple of different players. But actually, we did reinforcements coming in on the side of VRespawn. Number 16, that's going to be Vex leading the charge here. It does have potential 2v2 if they can just take down number 17, which is Strembitsky, who's just being chased all around the map. Now they need to pull a quick 180. I think they should wait for the respawns to come back in. You have the advantage, or just force the 2-on-1, I guess.
Yeah,
directly on top of them.
Looks like, they're just in basically an all-out brawl on the point at this point. Kangorillaz, they are going to hold this. So they've got members coming in left, right, and center.
Say that, and then now VRespawn comes back in again.
Yeah, they were just on it straight away. Good meteor shots coming out of Kaznaz, actually, doing some good work here. And that is going to be another wipe, but this is just a back and forth now. Kangorillaz come back in, cap it. VRespawn comes back in to cap it. Got two members of VRespawn now starting to hold off. It looks like they are going to wait for their teammates to get back in on this. Kangorillaz also looking quite reluctant to stick on the point. If you can see them kind of starting to back up to the right, waiting for their team members to recover in. VRespawn given a complete break now, just coming back into this fresh with a full four-man team. So this next fight, again, could be another critical one.
Again, look to Strembitsky or Vidman or Kaznaz to really open things up. Still back we haven't seen too much of just yet. So you have some decent connections. Strembitsky's taken low. Matt got taken low as well. And again, they just back off. They let the point be captured against them. But they're fighting almost at a disadvantage here. The instant repair is going to be coming out momentarily. One going to be up for Mad currently, just keep him up. Hopefully some teammates. And Strembitsky's actually flicked around behind. He's flicked around to the side. This was
that
hit the shot to Vidman. Instant heal's going to come through. Strembitsky's trying to push to make the damage be done. And Silva Bag's going to chime in. But it's still going to go trade in favor of VRespawn. 3 players now being immediately bursted down. And I want to say it here, Jersey, if they finish off this fight, if Leverage goes down here, I think VRespawn should have this.
Yeah.
We see one more fight, but it's going to be a very scrappy one.
An almost fantastic engage to start off the fight, but they got punished on the engage afterwards. Like, all the other 3 members just got taken down.
97, 98, 99. Anyone can touch it? No, that's going to be it. VRespawn going to get themselves through to Leicester in a quick 3-0 fashion. So you win 2-0, you win 3-0 against the #2 team in North America. And hey, now you're $7,400 rich.